When is it going to happen? When is the most anticipated feature of the Model 3 is coming out since probably the Model 3 itself? So the dual motor is something that a lot of people are waiting for. And by the way, guys, if you're watching right now, let me know in the chat room, or if you're watching it in replay in the comment section, why you are looking forward to a dual motor and if you're actually going to get it, because I know a lot of people are waiting for it. And I know there are different reasons, right? Some people just want a longer range, which by the way, we haven't even talked about it. Is it going to be even more than 310 miles for the extended range? Some people just want, they live in weather conditions when it's just a matter of safety. Some people just like going to where it's snowing or raining or whatever, and this is for more like kind of a recreational kind of purposes. Let me know. But a lot of people anticipating, we know that already sort of an image of the diagram was leaked, and Tesla updated its configurator saying that we should expect it in spring of 2018, which could be really next month, right? No, month after that. January, February, March. Okay, so we're talking about April, right? So, okay, so about a couple of months. Now, the exciting news right now is, you know, as Tesla registers VIN numbers ahead of actually producing the cars, they've just registered a batch with 24 of those VIN numbers that were decoded to having a dual motor. Now, this is not the first batch. There was a batch a few weeks ago. Obviously, these are test batches, but the fact that they're doing them and testing them means that it's coming, you know, pretty soon. Now, I wonder if the first actual, you know, production of this dual motor cars are going to be sold to the employees again. We haven't really heard about that. That would be kind of cool, right? Because if anything you want to test is the new version of the motor when you have it. So that might happen as well. I don't expect that it will be more than maybe 200 or 300 employees at most, just judging by the previous numbers. They're going to be actually interested in buying those, but I don't see why that may not be the case. Now, after that, they're going to start producing it. Now, as you also know, we were talking about it, what, a couple of weeks ago, that the same Tesla configurator that now is promising the spring of 2018, this year, for the dual motor, is promising the beginning of 2018 for the standard battery. That's $35,000 version, the most anticipated, obviously, configuration for the Model 3. So now some people are speculating, well, maybe that's not going to come as soon as beginning of 2018. Maybe the dual motor is going to come in first, because, you know, Tesla is trying to sell the most expensive version just to recoup some of their investments. So that's pretty reasonable. Or maybe they will start kind of at the same time. Not sure it would be wise, but, you know, this is something that is definitely a possibility. So this is the news that's coming out of Tesla today, and you know, this means that things are getting kind of serious. This is something that's ramping up. You know, I reported yesterday that Tesla Model 3 is the best-selling electric car, including the plug-in hybrid electric car in the United States. I think I didn't mention the number. I believe it's 1,875 Model 3s are made. Beat the Prius, beat the Chevy Bolt. By the way, Chevy Bolt is not doing very well if you think about it this way, because they had more than a year to ramp up the production and sales and so forth, and they're losing to Model 3 the very first month Model 3 comes out. So I might be right about that car. I know I'm not, you know, I think they made some mistakes with that car, and maybe that might be showing. We'll see. All right, in the chat room, Helmuth is saying, hi Alex, on my way to the Orlando Supercharger to actively watch the show. What does it mean, actively watch the show? Be careful driving and don't watch it while you're driving, though. All right, I'm actively going through the chat room right now. Bruno in the chat room says, will be very bad if Tesla delivery all-wheel drive for current Model S and Model X owners before delivering a rear-wheel drive for non-owners. Well, yeah, that's another thing, right? I mean, at what point do they draw the line? Because they're supposed to be delivering them for Tesla owners first and then switching to the non-Tesla owners. But are they going to deliver every possible configuration first before getting to non-owners? I think that probably it would be fair to deliver like the current rear-wheel drive configuration to non-owners once you move on to the next step, and once all the Tesla owners have configured the car that you're offering right now. I think it's still going to be a while, but yeah, so it's definitely getting exciting, and I hope they do it right. Do you have a flat rate charging and what is the cost? Asking Hans Hendrik Brandt. So you have to go to the Tesla's website. I believe it's tesla.com/support/supercharging, and it's different for every state and even every country. You will pick your state and it'll tell you what it is. I believe it's 20 cents per kilowatt here in California, but so it does depend. This is the rate for a Model 3 in the supercharger. And of course that will vary depending on the areas where you're driving and so forth. Okay, well, so let me, by the way, remind you guys that this stream and this channel is sponsored by Evernex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. And if you want to grab your own discount code that they've provided for this community, you can see it in the description of this video. You know what else is in the description of this video, guys? Let's see. Let me queue up the right video for that. It is a link, my referral code link for Tesla, but you don't have to buy a Tesla for this to work. If you actually click on that link and you will be asked for an email address, if you sign up with a Tesla newsletter, that's all you have to do. Both of us, you and me, will be entered into their drawing to do this. What I did was before, be behind the wheel of a semi-truck, but this time we'll be driving around, racing around their track in California. So please help me get to that event so I can report it for you guys, but you also enter yourself into the same drawing. So that would be kind of cool, I think. And by the way, here's another thing that I wanted to tell you guys. As you know, I've been rolling out some of the reports about CES. This is my last report that's going to be published tonight. This is my interview with Nikki of Transport Evolved, another great electric car channel. Nikki always has a very unique view on the electric car universe, and we were talking about basically what her thoughts were about the CES and all of the unveilings. As you can see, there's a Fisker right behind us, Fisker eMotion. So if you missed any of my coverage of it, you see all of those videos uploaded on my channel, all of the reports from Fisker and Byton to Mercedes Benz and Kia, of course. That would be, I mean, I'm kind of it's kind of sad that this is the last video, but at the same time, guys, it's been a lot of work and I'm kind of ready for the next event. Let me know if you enjoyed it. So we're gonna definitely have some time. That's a pretty good interview, and by the way, that interview was already published for my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. If you want to support this channel, once again, description of this video has that link, but my Patreons already had an interview to the full uncut interview with Nikki. So thank you guys so much. I hope you already enjoyed it. How many horsepower do you think the dual motor will have? I can only guess. I really don't like speculating, so I'd rather not answer. So I don't know, but it's a good question. Gabrielle Pop in the chat room. Let's see. Oh, let's move on to my favorite part of the show, guys. Comment of the day. And this comment comes from EV Owner. That's the username. And so, as you guys know, I think that maybe the smartest idea could be as far as solving the charging infrastructure. And, you know, we're talking a lot about charging at home. The best way to solve it is to have a leased battery that can be swapped, right? Now, EV Owner says, battery swap are a stupid idea. There you go. The battery is the most expensive part of the EV. Who will change their new $5,000 battery for a used one to save 30 minutes on charge? And what if you have a bigger battery that's available at the swap station? Do you expect the swap station to have several extremely expensive packs just lying around? Okay, so let me decode and kind of address everything. So I don't believe it's a stupid idea. I'll tell you why. So you're mentioning that it's the most expensive part of the battery and you don't want to kind of give it up and get a used one instead. Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is not just about the battery swaps like Tesla originally tried to do, where you give your battery, then you drive around and you come back for your own battery. That is a bit of a hassle, I agree. But what I'm saying is that idea needs to be combined with an idea of a leased battery. So you buy a car, but you lease a battery, whether from the same car manufacturer or independent company, that their entire business would be leasing this company to you. So, and you know, all batteries are going to be used as soon as you basically recharge it once, right? So this company would be in business of maintaining a fleet, an inventory of used but in a very good condition batteries. That way you can lease the battery of the size that you need. You don't have to worry about the battery degradation. They will take care of the maintenance and everything, and so that way you can refill your tank, really swap your battery within a minute, and that would be the fastest. That would be faster than gassing the car. That would be faster than supercharging or charging at your home. I believe that would solve so many problems. And yes, you know, companies who are gonna have to, you know, who are gonna do this will have to invest some money. It's, you know, I understand you're saying, well, they can't have them laying around. Yeah, they can. You know, just like it's like saying, hey, you know, airlines can't have all these planes standing around there. Yeah, they can. They're in business of doing that. Same thing with rental cars. Look at the rental car lots. They're full of cars that are not doing anything. Same, and the batteries, by the way, a lot of these batteries won't be just laying around. They will be charging for the next customer. And for example, you can, if you're a customer who just drives, let's say 20 miles a day, and you can lease a smaller battery and pay a smaller fee. But in the weekend, when you need a longer range, let's say you're traveling somewhere, you can lease a bigger battery, pay a little bit more, but that way you kind of can adjust to what your driving demands are on a daily basis. So I think I still stand behind this idea. I appreciate the comment, as you guys know. I appreciate all of the comments. Could be critical, could be calling my ideas stupid. That's perfectly fine, but this is my rebuttal. Used Tesla channel says, I don't think battery swapping will catch on personally. Well, here's the thing. It's kind of tough to tell if it's going to be caught on because no one's doing it really. And if they would do it the way I'm proposing it, who knows? I mean, how they would do, how many stations would be out there? We need cars that even can swap batteries. Model 3 can. So, you know, it's a bit of a, it has to be execution, obviously. Nigel says, need long arms to touch the screen on the truck, needs a variable distance arm to suit all size of drivers. He's talking about, I believe, me sitting in a semi. Let me just pull up that video real quick. Well, so here's the thing. You can pull up that chair all the way up if you want. But yeah, I did have a bit of a trouble with my tiny little short hands. See, I had to lean forward, but I didn't push the whole wheel forward. And I'm sure once they, you know, test it, and if there are some complaints from truckers who are testing it, they will correct it. But that's actually not a bad observation. Used Tesla channel says, I think the charging speed will increase to a point where it will be as fast as filling your tank with gas. That's also a possibility. So, you know, I still think that leasing option is not just about how fast you can charge. It's also about the freedom and not having to worry about the part of your car that kind of means to you the most, and a pretty expensive, you know, to add to that. Yeah, so, all right, guys, let's, by the way, before you leave the stream, please, and if you're watching in this replay, please give this video a thumbs up. Usually the video does much better if you do that. But other than that, guys, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to have a longer hangout. We're going to recap the entire week. Have a good time. We'll chat more, and I'll answer some of the questions. Other than that, I hope to see you tomorrow. And remember to stay charged.